To refer to ISIL as occupying any part of the Islamic theology is playing on a battlefield that they would like us to be on. I think that to call them some form of Islam gives the group more dignity than it deserves.
So that was Homeland Security Secretary Jay Johnson addressing controversy around the administration's refusal to use the term Islamic extremism. Is this the right approach today? Congresswoman Martha McSally, retired U.S. Air Force pilot. She also serves on the House Homeland Security Committee and the Armed Services Committee. And welcome here to America's Newsroom. He made the rounds yesterday. What did you think of that explanation?
It makes no sense to me. The administration is spending more time explaining that somehow they're not going to use certain words than they are actually putting a coherent strategy together to fight this threat that is a generational threat that we see with ISIS. We also are seeing with Al-Shabaab, AQAP, AQIM, Boko Haram. I'm not sure if they got the memo, but these all call themselves radical Islamists. Their root of what they have in their extreme version of terrorist organizations are all in Islam. And so we need to start with the facts and address this strategy in a way that uses all elements of national power, but actually calls it what it is. It's very bizarre to me that they're spending so much time not calling it what it is, as opposed to actually designing a coherent strategy. Well,
what the president would say is that he knows that that's a recruiting tool for the jihadists and doesn't want to contribute to that. And the other argument he will make is that he does not want to elevate this group to defame the religion. Now, what's wrong with that argument?
Well, they're already using a recruiting tool and using the internet and calling jihadists. There's, tens of thousands of foreign fighters that are flowing into the ISIL-controlled territory, plus other areas of failed states in Libya, Somalia, and other places. So they're already using it as a recruiting tool. The reality is this is a hijacked version of Islam, and we need to call it what it is. And we also need to be putting pressure on moderate Muslim leaders to also call it what it is and to address within their own religion the fact that they have a problem that is global, it is generational, and they need to be helping us to counter this violent extremism.
General Jack Keane, who does a lot of work for us, echoed the same sentiment yesterday on Fox News Sunday. Listen.
We should not permit the moderate and traditional Muslim leaders, clerics, come to us and say, this is not Islamic, when it is. We should not fall into the trap of not defining it and explaining this theology, and we should push them to challenge this theology that ISIS has adopted. They must challenge it.
Do you think that is happening now?
No, I don't think it's happening now. I mean, Secretary Johnson, I appreciate some of the things that he and his organization have said they're doing, but they've had like a couple of meetings around the country, visiting with Muslim leaders. Look, that's not enough. And the White House had a summit last week. That's not enough. I mean, this is, again, a global threat. And here at home, we should be concerned about the homegrown threat as well as those with Western passports and U.S. passports that might be traveling to get training and then come back to be a threat. A threat we learn in the military is capabilities and intent. And so if you've got this intent and they're using sophisticated means on the internet to recruit and motivate and inspire this jihadist mindset, then we've got to be countering this with a much stronger strategy.
What Jay Johnson said is on that strategy, it requires a whole of government approach. He said it many times on Sunday. What does that mean?
Well, we use that term often in the military as well, where you use a comprehensive approach using all elements of national power. We need to use the military in a much more comprehensive way, actually, to address this threat militarily, to destroy ISIL, to destroy Al-Qaeda, cut off its command and control and its military capabilities, but also use other elements of national power, economic, cutting off finances, diplomatic, and then countering the actual extremism. So, these other elements are are important, but we need to also address the fact that we have a failed military strategy right now that's been very much pinprick operations that doesn't allow us to actually destroy the capabilities of ISIL in Iraq and Syria.
Well, we're just getting word that overnight there were more hits taken out, carried out, I should say, in parts of Iraq and eastern Syria, and we'll talk about that again next time. Martha McSally, thank you for your time today.
And I'll just give you
quickly.
Okay, thanks for your time, Bill. Yeah, no, just Iran counterterrorism operations in Africa, and we watched al-Shabaab train thousands of terrorists, and this administration did nothing about it because they didn't think it was a threat to us. And these are the ones that are now trying to be inspired to attack us at home. So this administration needs to develop a comprehensive strategy to address this generational threat, and they're failing right now.
Again, thank you for your time. We'll talk again. Tucson, Arizona with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Martha McSally.